pays the tariff? To anyone who has been following the news in the past day, this question has suddenly taken on outsized importance. When Donald Trump first announced the opening salvos of his global trade war, we saw in just one day, the US stock market fell 5%, international stock markets fell 2%, inflation projected to rise to 4%, GDP forecast downgraded, and even at risk of a recession. Thankfully, he eventually chickened out. But all of which begs the question, is this what voters want? Which once again turns on our original question, who pays the tariff? This is not a question that requires detailed economic analysis. This is an objective, factual, logistical question. When a domestic retailer like Walmart imports goods from a foreign manufacturer and the government decides to impose tariffs, they are collecting dollars and cents from someone. Who are they collecting it from? Interestingly, American voters are completely divided on this question. 25% think that the foreign manufacturer has to pay the tariff, 17% think that the foreign government has to pay the tariff, 35% think that the domestic retailer has to pay the tariff, 23% think that the consumer, the average Joe, has to pay the tariff. There is no politics involved in answering the above question. It is a purely objective, logistical, bureaucratic question. And yet, depending on how people answer that question, their opinions on tariff policy make a complete U-turn. Among people who think that foreign companies or governments pay the tariff, a slight majority, 51%, support raising tariffs. Among people who think that local companies or individuals pay the tariff, only a tiny fraction, 22%, support raising tariffs. Given that this question has such a huge impact on support for tariffs, one would hope that voters are well informed about the issues before voting for or against a presidential candidate who calls himself the tariff man. Sadly, as can be seen from the above poll, the vast majority have no idea. Is it any wonder that public confidence in our government is abysmally low? Voters are electing politicians based on their support for various public policies, while simultaneously being woefully misinformed about the basic facts that underpin their support for that public policy. And then we wonder why our government is so incompetent. This is precisely why our political system is in need of significant reform. This is precisely why I and many others want to put an end to mob rule and instead have courtroom juries elect our political representatives. Learn more at www.electionbyjury.org.